I decided to stay for dinner. I did manage to get out of helping repair the mansion. That's what maids are for, after all, right? Now I had to figure out what to do until dinner time. There were several hours until then. Alright, so I went with this one. I guess I can poke around for the library, just for the hell of it. The Vola Library was not only the biggest magical library in Kinsokyo, it was the biggest non-magical library as well. There were books on every subject here. I asked Patchouli about that once at the party and she said everything is magic in some fashion. I suppose that's true in a way. In any case, I decided to look at the less magical sections for today. Unfortunately, my efforts were quickly stymied. There were a whole lot of really useful books, but most of them weren't in Japanese. I wonder if they were in this English Sanae talked about. Of course, there was an easy solution to that. Steal translation script spell. I wandered further into the library to look for one. The cats have failed again, I see. Or are you looking for Kokuma? I've been invited to dinner. Helping fixing the mess you caused with the little sister then. Something like that. Where were you during the mess? I was sleeping when the incident started. It took a while for those foolish fairies Remy keeps around to remember to wake me. After I rose, I spent most of my time collecting what would be required to seal the house in with rain should Flandre decide to leave. Fortunately, it didn't come to that. Oh yeah, you've got to seal the house first. That makes sense. Well, Kokuma's resting from helping me with spells, but I suppose it'd be useless to try to kick you out if you have free time out of the rest of the mansion. What are you looking for this time? Oh, I'm just trying to get something simple, a translation spell. Why would you need that? Probably best not to tell the whole truth. Sanae has some text in English I want to read, but I don't want to waste 4 years trying to learn the language without a native speaker about. That's reasonable. I'll let you see the book. Chances are you'll have memorized everything useful in it before the days is out, so you don't need to steal it. Patchouli's word turned out to be right on the money. Sadly, it only worked on written language, and even then, there were weak points, but it'll get the job done. I spent the rest of the time before dinner learning by just browsing. Always a good way to pass time. The moment of truth had arrived, I found myself seated at a table far too large for the number of places set on it. There were only 3 plates set down, which sort of made sense. Mei-ling and Patchouli would eat separately, and Patchouli didn't believe in eating often. What was strange was how the place was arranged. One setting was at the head of the table, the other 2 were to the seat's immediate left. Sakuya saw my confusion. The mistress sits at the head of the table. Lady Flandre sits next to her is her right as sister. You're a guest of the young mistress, so you sit next to her. I'm afraid I can't place you in between them. That would draw undue attention to our interference. Well, I was looking for a challenge. I sat down just as the mistress of the house entered. A guest tonight. Welcome, Miss Kiryu-sama. I trust you've been well taken care of. Yeah, something like that. Good, Sakuya. Sakuya, is my sister too tired out from playing to eat with us tonight? She should be waking from her nap now, mistress. I'll go retrieve her. This, of course, has nothing to do with the tantrum my sister threw this morning, I suppose. I suppose there was no way to hide that. I might have something to do with that. Oh, I see. Lady Flandre should be arriving shortly. Flandre looked a lot better right now, but she was obviously still pissed off, and I got to play mediator to 2 angry sisters. Lovely. After Flandre sat down, Sakuya appeared with several dishes which she proceeded to serve to each of us in turn. Mine looked exactly the same as the vampires. I wondered if that was a good or bad sign. So, sister dearest, are you feeling more rested tonight? Marissa, tell my stupid sister I'm not talking to her. Let's see. Hey, stupid sister, Flandre not talking to you? Or no, you have to insult her to her face. I told you this sounds more, because it sounded so much more funnier. No. You have to insult her to her face. This way just looks childish. You get much better reaction if you tell her personally she's stupid. Oh, thanks, Marissa. Remilia, you're an idiot, fool, moron, imbecile. What the hell are you talking about? I'm not the one who decided to stay up all last night and the night before. And why are you giving her tips, black and white rat? This is between sisters, butt out. Marissa can talk too. She's the one that told me the truth. The truth about what, you little brat? Sakuya gave me a glare. I suppose it was time for me to try to smooth things over a little. Now, Flandre, you've made your point. Now you have to tell Remilia what she did wrong so she can learn. I suppose that's true. You went and told everyone we're related to a jerk. What are you talking about? I read Dracula to her last time I was over. Oh. A big jerk. Flandre, we are devils by mankind's inner fears and desires. Why do you care if your ancestor was a fearful person? I don't care about that. Those people who easily break don't matter. They should fear me. The cold arrogance in Flandre's voice makes me shudder. If anything, she seemed more confident than Remilia, and she had nothing of her sister's courtly nature. Perhaps her natural innocence made those few times she reveled in her vampire nature more terrible. I'm angry because even the fun people will think we're jerks, and then the people that don't break easy will come to hurt us. And stop lying, we aren't related to that jerk. I see, little sister. It's been a while since I did more than glance at the work. Tell me why you think he's such a jerk. Fine. He's mean to his wife, he ignores them, and then yells at them because they're hungry. He doesn't even give Reinfeld his rats, even though they aren't hard to get, and he locks his guest who was helping in the basement for no reason at all. Castle. Locked him in the castle. There was a long, awkward pause. Remilia fiddled with her glass. Flandre sort of slumped. I picked my food a bit, while Sakuya pretended to be busy cleaning. I had never really thought about how much Flandre's imprisonment was her own choice, and never seen how she wanted out. I see, sister, and I understand. I ignored these little things because the common view of Dracula has shifted over the years. He is seen as a more noble type these days. In the future, I'll attempt to be clear. You also deserve an apology. Marissa apologized to her. Wait, what? Why do I need to apologize? For misleading my poor sister. I've never claimed to be a descendant of Dracula. What? You said that you were just now. I've claimed to be a descendant of Vlad Tepes, also known as Vlad the Impaler. While he is the inspiration for Stoker's Dracula, he himself was terrible, but fair, fearsome only to those who defied him. Don't you have a spell card called Remilia Stoker? Not what we're talking about. Don't worry, Marissa, I'm used to sister being a big liar. At least I can trust you to believe me, Sakuya. I would never question your noble lineage, mistress. Anyway, so long as you stop, I'll be happy. I see to this demand. Well, I'm glad that's settled. Flandre seemed much happier than after that, but as dinner progressed, I noticed all of us were a little guarded. I suppose Flandre's little slip had shaken all of us. After dinner, I walked Flandre back to the basement. Hey, Marissa. What is it? Are you scared of me? Tell the truth, that's what I went for. Yeah, you scare me sometimes, Flandre. I see. So did your sister once. In fact, a lot of yokai scared me at some point. Scared of her, but Big Sister's so weak. Let's see, I thought I was going to die against that Hellraven, Damaku, rules or no. Heck, sometimes Raymond can be pretty scary. Of course, I don't need to worry myself because I'm not a yokai. But still, I promise you though, even if you scare me sometimes, I'm still your friend. Right, I understand now. Thanks, Marissa. So be a friend and don't tell anyone about this, okay? I've got a reputation to keep. Yeah, I promise. We did a pinky swear and then Flandre slipped into her room. It was really late, so I started to head home. I was walking out through the front door into the gardens when the mistress of the house flew in out of the night sky and landed beside me. Do you have a moment? I suppose I do. It seems that Flandre sees you as a friend. She hasn't had friends before. I'd imagine it's hard to meet people in the mansion's basement. Yes, anyway, it would be nice if you could see Flandre more often. I'd be happy if she had a playmate. She doesn't listen to me because I'm her sister, you see. And well, Mei-Ling, Sakuya, and Patchy don't have the right temperaments. She listens to you well enough to stay in the basement most of the time. That's not the same, that's just forestalling the inevitable. The inevitable? What's inevitable? And don't you change fate? There are limits to all powers. Anyway, I've told Mei-Ling you're free to visit the mansion. Please come whenever you wish. Though if you angered someone too much, I can't guarantee your safety. Wait, what's this inevitable thing? A fate I'm changing. Remilia flew off into the night sky with that. I knew chasing her down and asking more would be futile, so I simply hopped onto my broom and headed home. As I flew through the starry sky, I thought about Flandre's words again, then about Remilia's. They both wanted Flandre to be able to go out and be normal. What was it like being locked away for all these years, and why would Remilia do that to a sister she obviously loved? Was her problem just a lack of socialization or a dangerous power? I could handle that. The mad decor of the room flashed briefly through my mind. It probably was worse than that, and you can't cure crazy just by being a friend. But I wasn't just a friend, I knew some of the most powerful yokai in Gisokyo. I had lots of tricks up my sleeves. And getting someone sane enough for Gisokyo was pretty easy. Still, it might be dangerous, and it would definitely be time I wasn't spending on becoming an immortal. I'd have to make a decision. I could just stop by and play with Flandre in between my activities on the days she was free, or I could just sit down and try to help her out. That decision though, we would have to come later. Right now I need to sleep. That was something for the morning. The next morning, I grabbed my notes again and headed back towards the Scarlet Devil Match. This time I'd actually get some work done. Alright, so this is where I last ended off when I was doing my first recording, so this is where I'm going to end off again. So, just to recap what had happened. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember, to be honest. I know. Okay, let's recap the most eventful things I can recall. We went to Alice's place. Just talked to her for a bit. We dealt with Reimu, Suika, and then going to what you call again a hot spring. Oku was there, so that was a surprise. After the hot spring, we went to the underground, met with Koichi. She gave us some advice on the characters how we're gonna progress in the future. After that, I think we should have went to the Skull Devil Mansion, read the book, if I'm correct, and then met with Nidori, and her invention with the aphrodisiacs. We also talked to Raisin, and she gave us the notes. So looks like even though we screwed up a lot, somehow our mess ups ended up being a positive, and it can work, but the contents would kill us, or some would burst before really working. So there's that. And then Flandre went into a fit because of the story we told her, and then the whole argument between the two sisters, and then how we had to play the mediator and all that. And there we go. I think that's all the main things I can think of at the moment. Since I just kind of forgot, but yeah, I believe that's how everything turned out. So now obviously, given that we're working on the Alice route, I don't know if we'll be able to help Flandre as much as we can in the future, because again, based on you guys' vote, we'll be trying to get Alice's route, and it doesn't feel like this game is cut and dry in terms of the routes. So it's going to be a little trickier for me to get to it, but I'll do my best to that point, and we'll see how that turns out. So like always, this is Magi, and thanks again for watching.